as shown in the side plan, and the terrain is flat, and the zoning is commercial as shown in the zoning plan. I will explain the location of our subject property. The subject property which is located in Bandar Bukit Tinggi has high accessibility and can be accessed through a major highways, which are Lebuh Raya Kemuning Shah Alam, which is known as LKSA, and Lebuh Raya Shah Alam, also called as Kesas, Lebuh Raya Springs, and Lebuh Raya Baru Lembah Klang. The subject property is situated at the southwest of the Kuala Lumpur city centre, and the car distance from KLCC is approximately 42 km. Moreover, the subject property can be accessed by sort of public transport, which are buses and train station. Next, I'm going to describe the neighborhood of our subject property. The locality within the subject property is situated in predominantly commercial in character, and it is highly visible as it is located along the bustling main road Jalan Batu Nilam. As shown in the slide, currently the subject property is surrounded by various types of commercial buildings, such as a shopping mall called Tesco Extra, and the hypermarket which is known as Giant, several financial institutions, which are Public Bank, CIB Bank, and Maybank, and several financial and several educational setup, as shown in the slide. And in addition to that, there are also a 4-star hotel named as Premier Hotel, is located 3 km radius within the subject property. Next, I will pass the presentation to my partner, which is Kitching.
Thank you, Sam. Now I will continue to present about the valuation. We use the comparison method to value the subject property. Next slide. The diagram shows the location plan of comparables. From the plan, we can see that the comparable 1 at the north of subject property, comparable 2 is at the east of subject property, and comparable 3 is at the southeast of subject property. All the comparables are vacant land. Next slide. The table shows evidence of value is withdrawn from JPPH. Next slide.
Hold on. I mute my mic first.
Okay. Now I proceed to the adjustment on the comparables. From the comparison table, we have been made the adjustment on the time factor, tenure, and location due to the zoning type of the land and terrains of subject property are same with the 3 comparables, so we don't make any adjustment. After total adjustments to the comparables, we choose the comparable 2 as best comparable because it has the most similar characteristic with our subject property, and the least adjustment rate is 5%. Therefore, the adjusted price per square meter is 1,243 ringgit. Next, we time it with 31,880 square meter to get the capital value of subject property, which is 39,634,220 ringgit, and the sale is 39,600,000 ringgit. Now I will pass to the Ain'ni to continue.
Right, I will proceed to market study. Since the subject site is proposed make development of residential and commercial, I'll focus on residential subsector. There was an overview of gradually rising trend before COVID-19 pandemic. However, the overall residential property transaction dropped in 2020. By breaking 2020 into quarters, we can see that quarter 2's transaction volume recorded the lowest due to economic lockdown. It then rise sharply in quarter 3 due to government intervention and continued to rise in the volume in quarter 4. The pie chart showing that residential property transactions in Selangor represent around 20% of the total transaction in Malaysia in each quarter of 2020. Looking into Selangor residential property transaction volume, the bar chart below, its trend is similar to overall residential transaction volume across the nation. The lowest record is quarter 2. The reason quarter 3 transaction volume rise sharply because to boost economy and property market, government had implemented policy, namely reintroduction of home ownership campaign, the exemption on the instrument of transfer, and RPGT exemption for disposal of residential home. Next slide, please. Overnight policy rate and base lending rate. The latest meeting of Monetary Policy Committee of Bank Negara at March decided the OPR remained at 1.75% to stimulate economy. Lower OPR means lower BLR. The interest rate to finance and own property is lower. On the other hand, a government also implements stamp duty exemption for residential property value up to 500 ringgit thousand Malaysia, which applicable for sales and purchase agreement executed between 1st January 2021 and 31st December 2025. Next. Based on Malaysia Property Market Report, Klang Valley remain dominate as preferred place to buy a property. Besides, MRT3 is one of the mega transit projects will be completed in the future, which encircle KL city core and link up some of the rail line. It cuts short the distance and provides greater accessibility to the proposed sites. On the other hand, LRT3 interconnected western corridor of Klang to Kuala Lumpur city center. To note that the proposed site is just 700 meters with 8 minutes walking distance away from Station 23 Tesco Extra Klang Mall. It is believed that LRT3 will enhance the value of the proposed site and helps the prospective occupants to save faring costs. Next, I will pass to Susan to continue the presentation.
All right, thank you, Kaini. So based on the market study, as explained by Kaini just now, we had proposed a high-end mixed development scheme consists of residential and commercial. So now I will explain about our proposed development concept. Our proposed project is known as Vita Moderna, which means modern life in Italian. Vita refers to life, whereas Moderna means modern. The theme of this development is modern lifestyle. This is a mixed residential and commercial scheme, consists of 3 residential blocks and premium retail spaces. Apart from the residential and commercial buildings, more than 40% of the area of this development is reserved for green spaces. To conclude, this proposed project is a high-end mixed development that brings living, playing, and nature all together at the fingertips of the future residents. Next, please. So this is the slide showing the bubble map for Vita Moderna. And as we can see, there's only 1 block of commercial building facing Jalan Batu Nilam 3C, and followed by 3 blocks of residential building at its back. The development will only use up 60%, which is equivalent to 4.73 acres of the land, and the remaining 40% is reserved as open spaces. Next. So this is the development planning requirement, and the development is proposed by complying this planning requirement as stated in the local plan of Majlis Perbandaran Klang. Our proposed site is located in BPK 6.3, zone for commercial use, and the requirement for the commercial building includes the plot ratio of 1:4 and a clean area of not more than 60%. Whereas for the residential density, the requirement is not more than 60 units per acre for high-cost apartment. Next. So I will go into the proposed development component into detail in this slide. As seen in the previous slide, there are 3 residential towers, Tower A and Tower B, and each of them consists of 15 floors, and each floor incorporates 11 units. And the total units for 1 tower will be 165, and Apart from that, we have also reserved some units for Rumah Selangor. For Type A and Type C, each of them will consist of 45 units, and there will be total 90 units of Rumah Selangor in Tower C. So to sum up, for the residential units, there are a total of 420 units proposed in this scheme. As for the commercial block, it consists of 4 levels with a total proposed net lettable area of 152,000 square feet. And that's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have one question. Your lot is a commercial land, right? Are you going to subdivide the land and then the residential tower will be part of a residential land, or it still will be under commercial land?
I think we will convert the title, and then the residential will be on the residential land, and then the commercial will be on commercial.
Oh, so the square you will divide in half and you will subdivide the land, is it?
Yeah, we are proposing to do so.
Okay, so if you subdivide like equally, so what is the size of the residential lot?
The residential lot, the building itself, the 3 building will made up of 2.4 acres. This is
the total land area? The total land
7.8
area is 7.8
acres.
7.8 acres.
Yeah.
And when you have 7.8 acres under the Selangor's planning guideline for development, you have to do type A and type C, is it? Is that the requirement?
This one is based on the Rumah Selangor guideline. There is another guideline for this.
Right. Okay. All right. So don't forget to include in your calculation on the subdivision whatever fees and costs that you might have, and also to highlight that in your report. Okay.
All right. No
All right.
problem.
Okay. Thank you, Group 1. Well done.
Doctor.
Okay. So Group 2, are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So you can share your screen and present straight away. Okay.
So, Assalamualaikum and good morning to Dr. Zafira Asadat and my fellow classmate. We're from Group 2 and my group members are Muhammad Ikhwan bin Zulkifli, Vasan Kumar Nadaraja, Nashaira binti Muhammad Kamal and Saliza Hidayah binti Abdullah. Next. So, this is our particular subtitle. Our lot number is lot 6078. Its title number is Grants 45734. It is located at Bukit Kapar, District of Klang, State of Selangor, and it is termed in perpetuity. Its category of land use is agriculture. The area of our proposed site is 10 acres. Its registered owner is Eng Sun Hang dan anak-anak sendirian berhad. Encumbrances, express condition, encumbrances, restriction in interest, and endorsement are all nil, and its express condition is light industrial. Next. This is our proposed site plan. It is rectangular in shape and the terrain is flat. Next. I will pass to Saliza to explain on the location.
Thank you, Shira. Next, I will explain about the location of our proposed site. The location of our proposed site is located in Taman Perindustrian Meru Selatan, Klang, Selangor. And the proposed site is surrounded by light industry factory. As you can see here, there is a Sani Engineering Sdn Bhd, MR Glove Manufacturing Sdn Bhd, and Iras Pintar Sdn Bhd. The proposed site is, furthermore, there is some residential area as well, which is Taman Desa Meru Indah and Taman Meru Aman. Next. Okay. Our proposed site can be accessed easily via Persiaran Setia Alam from Setia City Mall. Next, this is our zoning plan. As you can see, the arrow shows our proposed site and the color is purple and it represents for industrial zoning. Next, I will pass to Ikhwan. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Saliza. Now we proceed with the planning guidelines. These planning guidelines are from the Kelang Municipal Council (MPK), and according to Kelang Municipal Council, our proposed site is located in the Block Perancangan Kecil 1.7, and in BPK 1.7, the plot ratio will be 1:3, and the piece area is 60%. All right. According to the Kuala Municipal Council, the industrial zone guideline, at least the minimum land size is 10 acres and above, and the building design for industrial zone will prioritize environmentally friendly building design, and the design of the building is neat and symbolize high-tech features, and also using given building materials and appropriate to the topography. And the service road that has a sizing of 66 feet, and the fire break and back alley will be 40 feet. And there will be the size of parking space, including car park, the motorcycle park, and lorry park. Next, we will go to the guideline for Terrace Factory according to the Selangor standard planning guideline. And according to the guideline, the approval is subject to the state government approval for development. In excess of the proposed 50 units of factories must provide 30% low-cost factories with a maximum price in the range of 150,000 ringgit. And the standard for the minimum land size of terrace factory and low-cost factory is 20 feet times 80 feet and 20 feet times 60 feet respectively. And there will be the building height 40 feet for both terrace factory, and the maximum story and the service road, which is 66 feet. And there will be the sizing for the parking space, and the buffer zone for light industry is 50 meters, and the green space is allocated 5% minimum from industrial land area. So this is the illustration of the terrace factory design. And there will be the development process, which including pre-construction stage, the construction stage, and post-construction stage. Now we will go to the proposed development of our proposed site. So in our development, we are proposing to build a Type A and the Type B, which is the low-cost terrace factory and the commercial lot. So total of Type A will be 49 units. Type B, the low-cost will be 21 units, which is the 30% of the total unit, and the commercial lot will be 7 units. And there will be the facilities, we have office, surau, and sewage treatment plant. Next, I will pass to the bus.
All right, thank you very much, Kwan. So I will be presenting regarding the initial draft for our proposed layout. So as you can see, the darker purple color on your screen will be our industrial terrace units. The lighter purple will be the low-cost industrial. So on the right, we will have the shop lots and the parking space. And on the left, we will have beginning to the left of the low-cost industrial, we'll have the car park, the office, the surau, which is in yellow, the unloading bay, the lorry park, and also finally the sewage treatment plant. Next. So this is regarding the market study. So first of all, regarding the demand of industrial terrace properties in Klang, we can see that it generally peaked in the third quarter of 2019, with a large fall in the first quarter of 2020 due to the COVID-19. I'm sorry, the second quarter of 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and has again begun to rise, however, not up to par to its previous standards. Next. So next we have the transaction value of industrial terrace properties in the Klang area. So again, we see the trend that 2019 is where the transaction value of industrial terrace properties peaked. And again in 2020, it saw a massive fall. However, in the third quarter of 2020, it's coming back up. However, not up to its previous standards. All right, next again. So this is the existing supply of industrial properties in Selangor by property types. As you can see, the highest properties supply goes to the terrace, industrial terrace properties, followed by the semi-detached factories at 23.44%, followed by the detached factories at 18.28%, then the other types of industrial properties at about 3%. Finally, at the lowest, we have the industrial complex at 1.37%. And next, that is all from us. Or I'm sorry, we have the comparable plan. Passing it on to Shahira.
Okay, so for our comparison method, this is the comparable plan. For comparable 1, lot 871, it is located at the northwest of our subject land. Comparable 2 located at east of our subject land, and comparable 3, lot 3491 located at south of our subject land. And with that, I thank you.
All right, thank you. Interesting. You choose the industrial land. So I'm looking forward to the final presentation and report. The next presentation in the final one, and make sure that you put in your source for the transaction value, etc., etc. Okay.
Sure.
I think that's all. Okay, well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
All right. So third group, are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So share your slide and then start present. Okay.
Doctor, about the source we haven't added, we don't have time already.
Oh, tak apa. It's okay.
Okay.
Tak apa, present dulu.
Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, MK, you can start now.
All right, so
I knew my mic.
wait.
I mute my mic, you start lah.
Okay, a very good morning and bit to Dr. Zhao and my fellow friends. We are from Hijau Properties, Setiam Berhad. Along with me is Lavinia, Suijong, and Xiuqing. Next. So first of all, I will start with the description of the proposed site. First of all, let's talk about the proposed site. The proposed site is located on lot 910 Act 3, Persiaran Sukan, Section 13, 40100 Shah Alam, Selangor. The shape of the land is in trapezium shape. Next, then we come to the particular of title. So basically, our site is located under Mukim Bandar Shah Alam, district of Petaling. The land use building with leasehold tenure, which is 81 years remaining. The land area is 12,532 square meter. The registered owner is Ara Village Setiam Berhad, and express condition is commercial building. Next. Then we talk about the existing land use of the property. The proposed site is vacant land with full of bushes and trees, which indicate it is a greenfield development. It is zoned as commercial usage, so our mission is to develop this site and make full use of its area, while taking into consideration of all the aspects set by Majlis Bandaraya Shah Alam, which will elaborate by my colleague after this. Next, let's look at the location plan. As you can see, our site is located at section 13 of Shah Alam. The site is located approximately 6.3 km by road from the east of the Shah Alam City Council. It is easily accessible via network of major expressway in Klang Valley, namely Elite Highway, Federal Highway, and NKVE Highway. Next. Then we'll have a look at the public transport. Public transport in terms of KTM and LRT is provided within the proposed site. So KTM Batu Tiga is located only 3.6 km of southeast from the site, while the proposed LRT 3 project Station Stadium Malawati is located only 2.6 km due south of the site. Then next. Finally, we'll look at the surrounding plan. the immediate surrounding of the proposed site are mainly recreational, educational, and commercial area. For recreational, there is a stadium Shah Alam, Shah Alam Extreme Park, and Club Golf Sultan Abdul Aziz. For commercial, there is a giant hypermarket, and for educational, there's UOW Malaysia KDU University College and Polytechnic Premier Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah. Next, I'll pass to Lavinia.
Okay, thank you, Minkai. So for the market study, the first thing we'll look at briefly is the demographics. So we can see that there's a steady population growth in Selangor from 2016 to 2020. Now in 2020 the number was about 6.5 million. Next. And we also want to look at the population by age group, right? And we will see that the 15 to 64 years age group is by far the largest. Of course, it's also the largest age range. But this shows that the working adults workforce age range is the highest. So it's important that the development feeds to their needs and demands. Next. And now we look at the number of transactions by sector in Malaysia and Selangor. Can we have the table? So if we look across all the sectors, obviously with COVID-19 happening in 2020, the numbers have dropped significantly. But even with commercial properties, right, it's the same thing. But Selangor generally has made up the most transactions in most of the areas. So even though there's a decline, in Selangor there's still a lot of possibilities. Next. So we are actually looking at service apartments because of later Sweden will explain further. So since our land is commercial, right, and although there is an overhang, as we can see, the commercial sector isn't doing too well. But when we look closely at the overhang, we can see that actually most of the overhang for service apartments is coming from Johor. Selangor isn't doing too bad in comparison. And also, based on Rahim and Co research, few of the reasons why these properties aren't doing too well is that the prices are too high, and also maybe it's far from public transport. So we want to look into the prices a bit more. Can we go to the next one? So the service apartment overhang by price range, right? Here. So look here, the biggest overhang is actually from the 500,000 to 1 million price range. This means that the developments of this price doesn't actually feed into the demand of the market, and the less than 300,000 obviously is the least, it's the most affordable. But looking at our location in Shah Alam with all the facilities and amenities, the 300,000 to 500,000 price range looks to be, something achievable and affordable and, suitable with the market currently. All right, next. So this is another study that we're using as to look at the trend in terms of the size, because apparently residential units have been shrinking, and you can see that the unit size has decreased significantly. Like from 2017, the units is like 1,200 plus. So some of the factors is that of course the changing demographics, like the buyers are getting younger and younger, and also to keep the property prices affordable, people are actually making the units smaller and they are selling. And also another point that I want to point out is that mixed developments are also in line with the desired lifestyle of the younger generation, that they want to connect with each other, you want everything nearby. And so with that I will pass to Sujin.
Thank you, Lavinia. And I'll be presenting the valuation aspect for the subject property. Next. This is the comparable plan for our subject property, where you can see that the subject property is in the red box and the comparable properties are in the yellow boxes. The subject property is located in the section 13 of Shah Alam, while the comparables are located in section 13 and section 14 of Shah Alam. Next. Here's the adjustment table. We've made adjustment for the time factor, location, layer of the road, category of land use, express conditions, zoning tenure, land size, and terrain. And we have chosen comparable to because there is only -5% adjustment with only one adjustment factor. Next. Hence, the final market value of the subject property is calculated as below, which is using the adjusted analysis per square meter of comparable to with the size of the subject property, where we will get 34,280,000 for the market value of the subject property. And I'll pass to Sui Zhong.
Thank you, Su Jing. So I'll continue with proposed development. So before I show you the proposed development, I will explain to you the reason we choose this land. So first is for the on-stay purpose. As you can see, there's a lot of shopping mall, highways, and education institution around our land. So all of these factors are pointed at the residence use. However, our land is of commercial use. So what we think of is the service residence. So as you can see in this diagram, we have NKV, Elite, Gertie, Federal. We have many highways around the proposed site. So the next is from the investment point of view, we have Stadium Shah Alam, which is only 2.2 km away, and Extreme Park, which is even nearer. And we even have the upcoming LRT3, which is the Stadium Shah Alam. So we think that there's a lot of investment potential, which the service resident can convert into Airbnb. This is what you see, the Stadium Shah Alam is in the plan of LRT3. And next is about the market, what the market wants. Just now, Lavinia already explained that the least overhang price of the service residence is lower than the 500K. So we will most probably propose the affordable service residence. So since we already decide to build service residence, let's see the restriction. Okay. To build service residence, the land must be either one. The first one is a central business district, which we are not. The second one is 400-meter radius, consists of terminal transportation, which we are also not. But the third one, 400-meter radius, consists of higher education institution. We fulfill this requirement. So you can see from this diagram, we are only 407 meters away. There is a MSU College from our subject land. Okay, so now we enter to our development. So our development team is Les Personas. So this is our logo. So this name is formed by two words. The first one is from French, is Totes les Personnes, which is everyone. And this carry the meaning of, we hope that everyone can afford our development. And the second one is from English, which is obviously pursuit, which brings the meaning of practical. We hope that everyone can pursue, even though it's affordable, we hope that they can still pursue a decent and practical layout. So look at the service resident guideline. The first is the plot ratio 1:4, plain area 60%, total allowable gross floor area is about 540 square feet. And the allowable unit size is, the minimum is 550 square feet and the most is 1,000. For car park, you need to have 2 car park per unit and plus with 20% of visitor car park and 2% OKU car park. For the car park, right now we assume like 20% of the allowable gross floor area will be used for the car park use. And for retail, there must be 20% of normal retail and 10% of affordable retail. So altogether 30%. So after minus 20% and 30%, we only left 50% of the total allowable gross floor area for service residence purpose. So, and we divide this area to the allowable unit size. And so the minimum unit we can build is about 270 and the most is 491 because we haven't have a very detailed planning. So this is just an assumption. And the open space as usual is 10%. The kindergarten, we need to have 1 per 200 unit, but we will not build that because within 200 meters, we already have a kindergarten named Sekolah Integrasi as Sharkirin. And for the facility, there's no particular guideline, but we will allocate about 1 acre for facility area. Now, this is the proof for the kindergarten. The nearby kindergarten is only 206 meters away. It's very near. So for Rumah Selangor, we are under zone 1, this area, and we are less than 5 acres. So according to the Rumah Selangorku guideline, only MBPJ, MBAJ, and MBSJ will need to build Rumah Selangorku. For ours, MBSA, we don't need to build Rumah Selangorku. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Group 3. Well done. Interesting that you want to do a service residence here, but I guess it could work. So looking forward to the final report. Okay, so thank you, Group 3. So Group 4, you guys ready? Group 4?
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay, so Sui Jong needs to stop presenting first, and then Group 4 can start present. Okay, thank you, Group 3.
All right. Okay. Let me. All right. Okay. Good morning. Wait, is this still morning? Sorry. Good evening to Dr. Surveyor Zafira.
Hey, it's still morning lah.
Still morning ke?
Morning lah.
Okay, okay. 10 minutes early, 10 minutes early. Okay. Good morning, Dr. Surveyor Zafira Al-Sadar, and also all our classmates. So today we'll be presenting the property development interim report. So we are from Group 4, and our company name is Golden Future Development. Okay. So this is the particulars of title for our proposed site. It is in the district of Klang in the Mukim of Kapar. It has a land area of 12.95 acres. The tenure is in perpetuity, and the quit rent is 180 ringgit. Currently, there is no express condition and restriction in interest on the land, on the title for the land. So this is the site plan of our proposed, the subject lot. So as we can see here, it's not a perfect rectangle, but it starts off a perfect rectangle and finishes off as a weird pentagon. Moving on, so the proposed site is located at Kampung Bukit Kapar. It is 700 meters away from City Umrah Enterprise and 1.5 kilometer, I'm sorry, there's a typo there, from MTS Meru. The surroundings of the development are mostly residential, including Taman Sebaya, Taman Desa, Bukit Permata, Jalan Repuk. The zoning of the proposed site is residential, as we can see here, plot 61552 and 6630. The proposed site is located just to the north of Majlis Pemandaran Klang, with a distance of 19.6 kilometers. So moving on, I'll invite Amira to explain about the existing condition of the proposed site.
Right, thank you. So next we will proceed to the existing condition of the proposed site. Firstly, the current land use, it is used as oil palm plantation. So the site can be shown in the next picture. Okay, next. The topography of proposed site is undulating, where the highest peak reach 11 meters and the lowest level is 9 meters. The proposed site should be flattened before starting the development since it is flat and undulating. And for the accessibility, the proposed site is located just 14 kilometers from Bandar Puncak Alam. It also have a very good accessibility as it has Persiaran Mohtar Dahari, which also known as Shah Alam Batu Arang Highway on its side. It also has Jalan Bukit Cerakah on the other side. Next. Okay, for condition of surrounding site, the neighboring area of the proposed site consists mainly of landed residential properties. This area is suitable for residential planning because there are so many new residential in progress. There are also some areas in the surrounding yet to be developed. So the basic utility that already have in the proposed site is the water supply from Shabas, electric supply from TNB, and telecommunication system at the proposed site is also good. So for the next presentation, I will pass to Wei Chi.
I'll be explaining about the planning requirement for our proposed site. So since our land size is exceed from 10 acres, therefore the planning should have the 20% of low cost housing, and then 10% of low medium cost housing, 10% of medium cost housing in Garis Pandan CBD. So the maximum density of our proposal is 20 units of residential per acres. So for Rumah Selangor, since our land is under Zone 2 in MPK, so the Rumah Selangor Garis Bantuan has guide us to have 15% of type B Rumah Selangor, and then for 15% of type C Rumah Selangor. Next slide, please. So for commercial property, under Garis Bantuan, there is essential that 1 unit of commercial property per 60 unit of residential unit. So for the infrastructure, there is a requirement of 1 unit of TMB substation, and then 1 unit of water tank, as well as 1 unit of sewage plant for Garis Bantuan.
Okay, for our proposed site, about our proposed development for residential site, we will have 60 units of double-story terrace house, which we built out 1,500. We also will have 40 units of triple-story terrace house with a built up 3,000 square feet. As Weichi mentioned just now, we need 15% of type B and type C Rumah Selangor. So the number of unit each type is 15. Next. Our commercial, there will be also commercial units. The number of unit is 10 two-story shop lots with a size for intermediate lot around 3,000 square feet, and for the corner lot around 5,000. Next. Okay, for our open space, we will have a pavilion garden and equine park. Next. Okay, for our amenities and infrastructure, we will have a TMB single chamber, sewerage, water tank, community hall, guard house, and surau. So this is our layout plan. Actually, our layout plan is still on the way, so it's just half finished. But I will try to give an overview about our proposed development. So on the top of the left side is our commercial two-story shop lot, and under the shop lot is our sewage plant, TMB, and there are also shabas. On the right side is water tank, and there are also on the, it's just like a roundabout. Actually, it's a pavilion hall. It's open space, and there will be a Rumah Selangor on the right side also. So that's all from me. I will pass to Tianwan.
Okay, so for me, I will brief a bit about the market condition relevant to our project feasibility study. So next. Okay, so we can look at the income by state analysis. So whereby when we look at the orange color number, the median, right, and we look at Selangor, which is our proposed site area. So the median is around 8,200 ringgit, whereby we have a golden rule of loan to income ratio of 30%. So say you want to buy a house, the comfortable range for your installment per month against your income would be 30%. So which translates to roughly 2,500 ringgit. And when you put into the installment with the condition of 35 years tenure, 3.1% interest rate, and also 90% loan margin, so that translates to about 500 to 600,000 of property, which is our target pricing. And next slide. Okay. When we look at this is a Selangor actually. Okay, so basically we look at the change in the high rise and the landed. So we target to do landed because when look at 2019 and 21, all right, the number of transaction decrease is lesser in landed compared to high rise. So we know that the demand for landed is much better than high rise. That's why we do landed in this area. Okay, next. And then for about we can look at this by age prop, the data. We look at the unsold property by price range, whereby our price range would be 500 to 600, which is just below or within the border of the most unsold price range area lah. But then it depends also according to the property types, like landed, high rise, etc. But when we look at the more precise demand of clan, all right, it's within this area of 500 to 600,000. So this is our target price basically. So we'll do according to this price range. Yeah. So that's all from us. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I have no questions, but when you present description, it's best to map it to the CBD rather than the local council, I think. I think this is the same from the previous group as well. But if the CBD is too far away, you can use local council as a guide. But I think in terms of value, the location-wise, the normal margin that we use is from CBD lah. Sebab CBD sort of has that outlying value tertumpah to your local area kan, for an example. Okay, but well done. Thank you so much, Group 4. This is Group 4, right? Thank you, Group 4.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay, so Group 5. Are you guys ready?
Yes, Doctor.
All right, so whenever you're ready, and you present now, and then you present. Okay, fast? And the gang.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon good morning to Dr. Sfaya Zavira Asadat. We are from Afaf Consultant. My name is Muhammad Afiq Daniel, and together with my team members, Muhammad Faikmal, Muhammad Fawaz, Nurul Alia and Nur Fazliana, we are going to present our proposed development site which located at Mukim Bukit Raja U15 Shah Alam. Next. So this is the particular of title for our proposed site. The address for our proposed site is lot number 15012, lot number 15013, lot number 15014, and lot number 15015. The category of land use for our proposed site is agricultural, and the express condition for our site is agricultural land. Next. This is the site plan for our proposed development site. Next. Our proposed site is made up of 4 contiguous lot, which is identified as lot 15012, 15013, 15014, and 15015, Mukim Bukit Raja district of Petaling, state of Selangor. Our lot are rectangular in shape, and the physical state of the site are flat and undulating, and it was surrounded with tall trees, shrubs, and grasses. And according to MBSA, the plan, our proposed site is zoned as residential zone, and the size for our land is 14.21103 acres. Next. So this is the site view of our proposed site. And this is the location plan for our proposed sites. Next. Surrounding plan, as you can see, for our proposed site is near to education institution, which is the SMA Nurul Iman Bukit Cerakah, which located only 4 km from our proposed site. And the site is also near to recreation place, which is called Tasik Subang Dam, which only located 400 meters from our proposed site. And we also near to Camp Wawasan Negara Meru, which located only 1.2 km from proposed site. and also located near to Elmina Rainforest Knowledge Center, which located only 400 meters from our proposed sites. Next. And for the accessibility, our proposed site is accessible. Sorry. Our proposed site is accessible via Jalan Moqtadahari or known as Shah Alam Batu Arang Highway, which is connected to Puncak Alam, Shah Alam, and Petaling Jaya. Next, I will pass the presentation to Muhammad Fawaz.
Okay, thank you, Afiq Daniel. I will continue on the planning and deployment zoning. Okay, based on the local plan of Shah Alam City Council 2020, our proposed site is located under the residential zoning. Next. So based on Selangor plan and deployment, land that is located under residential zoning are allowed to develop residential unit. In case of our land, it must not exceed 10 units per acre for residential units. Then our land is allowed to build commercial buildings such as shop lots, public facilities and institutions, open space and recreational infrastructure and utilities, and also agriculture. Next. This is the land development stages. It involves 3 stages, which are pre-development stage, development stage, and post-development stage. The acquisition of land, the application for land matters such as amalgamation, subdivision, provision of land use, and the application for developer's license are all included in the pre-development stage. In development stage, it includes the construction and interim inspection. Finally, the post-development stage, it includes the final inspection, the issuance of certificate of completion and compliance, CCC, Form G, and the disposal CQN just for the development. Next. This is the development process. As you can see, this is the flowchart for concurrent application through one-stop center OAC for proposal development in Selangor. It started by submitting all the application regarding land matters to the OSC. Then all the documents will be checked and examined by the OSC Secretariat. Once it's completed, the applicants need to pay the processing fee and an official receipt will be issued to the applicant. It is stated by Shah Alam City Council that the charter period of this application is only within 40 days compared to the long period of time needed by applicant to apply for one-by-one plans. So I think that's all from me. I'll pass the presentation to Fazlian.
Alright, thank you, Fawaz. Now I will present about our proposed development. Our proposed site is a medium land area, and we propose a low cost, medium cost, and high cost of houses. The name of our proposed development is Ola Resident, as you can see in the slide. Ola Resident is a living concept that provides a warmth and bring out a home for everyone to live in. And the concept of our development is urban green living concept that provide conducive and eco-friendly environment with the greenery area around the housing development. Next. Okay, we propose to develop about 7 acres of semi-detached house that consists of 40 units of double-story semi-D and 30 units of 3-story semi-D. We propose semi-D house because of our proposed land have medium density and the ratio is not more than 10 units of house per acre. Moreover, this land also located at Kuala and it's more suitable. After that, as provided in the manual garis panduan and perancangan negeri Selangor, 30% of the total land needed to develop Rumah Selangorku. And as stated in the Dasar Rumah Selangorku, daerah Petaling in the category of Zone 1 and our land area is more than 10 acres. So hence we develop about 2 acres of 3 types of Rumah Selangorku consists of type A, type B, and type C. Next. We propose to develop 10 units of shop lot as the minimum ratio is one shop lot every 60 unit of residential. Moreover, 10% from the total land is for the open space and about 12% for the infrastructure that consists of the NB substation, sewerage, etc. Next, Nurul Alia will continue our presentation.
Thank you, Fazliana. So I will explain briefly on the market study that we did for our proposed development. So generally from 2010 until 2020, we can say that the trend prices for residential property in Malaysia for all types increasing, but in 2020 it decreased. Next. to focus on the prices of residential property for every state. So we focus on Selangor since our proposed development is in Selangor. The price of the house price is 390,000. Next. Okay, since like Faziana said that we propose to build semi-detached house, so this is the price of semi-detached house in Selangor during 2020. So in Petaling, the average price of semi-detached house is 1.6 million. Next, I will pass to Fatima.
All right, thank you, Alia. Next, for my part is surrounding transaction price. From this data, we got there's 4 township in the vicinity area of our proposed site, which is Eco Ardens Township, Cahaya SPK Township, Danai Alam Township, and Subang Impian Township. As we can see here, the median price for the Eco Ardens is 1,354,500 ringgit for the unit there, and for the Cahaya SPK is around 1,425,000. For the Nai Alam is around 1,815,000, and the Subang Impian, the price is 750, is the lowest one among the other 4. And from the data here, we can go into the detail. As you can see here, all the transaction SPA date is 2020 and one in 2019, and you can see the price per square foot is average around 542 ringgit, and for the price per unit average around 1,300, 1,003,000 ringgit, 3,000 ringgit. Okay, for the Cahaya SPK, the price for the SPA date 2020, 1,350,000, and for the 2019, 1,500,000. For the Subang Impian, is, as I said, is the lowest one, around 750. And from the data is we can come out, our group will come up with our house price per unit. Next, we go for the comparable properties for our subject lot. This is our subject property, and the comparable one here is lot 16659, lot comparable to lot 12513, and comparable 3 lot 12810, 12810. Okay, here as you can see, location, all of our comparable located in Kampung Bukit Cherakah, Mukim, Bukit Raja, District Petaling, and the tenure is same with our subject property. Okay, next, as you can see here, the consideration is for the subject comparable 1, 6 million, for the comparable 2, 2,130,000, and comparable 3, 2 million ringgit. Okay, for the adjustment, we choose comparable 2. We choose the comparable 2 because it has the best comparable with the least adjustment and the most similar among the other comparable. Therefore, the estimated value is 18.70 ringgit per square foot. Since our subject property consists of 4 contiguous lots which has similar land area, the land value calculated as below. Thus, the subject property value say at 11,600,000. That's it from our group. Thank you.
Thank you. Tengok sikit you punya comparison ni. Sebelum lagi, before that. Okay, this one. Vacant. Oh. Okay. Apa beza Kampung Bukit Cherakah Jaya dengan Bukit Cherakah? And then ada Kampung Bukit Cherakah. Your location tu.
It's just dia dekat-dekat je kampung tu. Like dia satu Bukit Cerakar, satu Bukit Cerakar Jaya. But in the same vicinity lah.
Okay. Okay. Note that every time you present, you jangan present perkataan ada skirt merah ni tau.
Oh.
So this is for all, okay? Because it looks very untidy. So the next presentation nanti make sure tak ada skirt merah tu, okay? Okay, sekejap. Why is your first comparable more expensive than the other two comparables?
Because of I think we have about 4, but another one is too far from the subject properties. So I think it's the best comparable that we can take, even though the price is quite high.
Because you tengok your comparable one tu, the analysis per price is RM42 per square feet, and then you have something similar, which is comparable 3. Dia location dia jauh ke apa? Is it? Because dia punya perbezaan sangat besar, padahal dia setahun je beza.
It's not too far actually, but I don't.
Kenapa?
I'm not sure about that, but okay, wait.
The next one that has the percentage tu. Sebab Managing why? I thought it was a larger land, but it's not. It's actually almost the same in size. Building is much better kan, in terms of value. But it's more expensive. Oh.
Okay,
Maybe kena tengok balik ni.
Okay, boleh.
Nanti yang final report tu, you tengok balik comparable satu ni.
Okay, boleh.
I just find it weird. Okay?
Alright.
Alright, so okay. So thank you group 5.
Thank you, Doctor.
Well done as well. Okay,
Thank
so
you,
group 6, are you guys ready? Thank you.
Doctor, you can see our screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, Ain'ni? Oh. Okay. Mingya Waida, okay kan?
Yes.
Okay. Ain'ni, boleh salah.
Thank you, Ain'ni. So now I will be describe about the location of our proposed site. Our proposed site is the Tengnam area, which located in the heart of the Chowkit, Kuala Lumpur. And our proposed site actually consists of the Jalan Tengnam and Lorong Tengnam 1 to 8. The location of our proposed site is very strategic actually. It's actually located around 4 km due east to the Petronas Twin Towers, and which is the landmark for the Golden Triangle. My screen also is freeze actually.
Hold on. Let me represent again. How the screen freeze juga?
I ingatkan, oh okay, yeah. Your screen was not moving tadi.
Oh, okay. How about now?
Yes, now okay.
Hold on. Let me rerun the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now you can start.
Okay, so I'll continue. So like I said before, the proposed site is just around 4 km due east to the Petronas Twin Towers. And then within the 5 km radius from our proposed site, we can directly reach to the Kuala Lumpur City Centre and also Titi Wangsa Central. So our proposed site is located just right beside to the Gombak River, and then it has well-established connectivity. The major route for our proposed site is the Jalan Raja route, which is located right beside to the right side of our proposed site, which provide accessibility towards Jalan Kuching and Jalan Sultan Ismail and Jalan Pahang. And our proposed site can be easily reached to any area in Kuala Lumpur. Next. So because we are doing redevelopment, so actually our site comprises of 5 site plan altogether, which covers lot number 839 to lot number 1006 altogether. So these are the site plans for our proposed site. So next. So our site plan consists of 169 lots, which are rectangular in shape, but together they will form an irregular shape for our proposed site. And the area for our proposed site is around 12.47 acres. So upon our site inspection, the proposed site actually has the existing residential development with a mixture of single and double-story terrace houses. There is some inconsistent in the height for the terrace houses due to the planning of the approval from the DPKL in the 1970s for the residents to upgrade their homes to 2 or more stories. And then for the terrain, it's basically flat and generally same level with the main road. Next. So here is some picture showing the existing building in the proposed site. So as you can see, the building in the proposed site is old and shabby because it has been built in 1948, unless for those who has undergone some renovation. So that's all from me. So now I will pass the presentation to Lee Kuan.
Thank you, Mingyao. Now I'll be presenting the project facilities as well as the services connected to our proposed sites. So the main services such as for the water supply, electricity supplies, as well as the telecommunication supplies is responsible by major vendor as shown you can see in the slide, the IS Selangor TMP as well as the Telecom Malaysia. So the local authority, Kuala Lumpur City Hall, DPKL, is in charge for the municipal service in maintaining and management for all the item here, as you can see in the slide. Next, I will be presenting about the surrounding plan of our proposed site. As you can see, the red zone color here is actually our proposed site located at the Tiongnan Chowkit area. So starting from the purple one color, as you can see in the slide, is actually referring to the public transportation. So the purple dots is actually referring to the MRT, LRT, and monorail. So there's a 5 MRT public transportation located near us, and as well as the polygon at the top here, you can see is actually a Titi Wangsa Central Bus Station, which connected to the southern part of the Kuala Lumpur, northern part, sorry. So next, the green color here is a healthcare institution. The biggest one in the middle is actually the Hospital Kuala Lumpur. The right-hand side one is a National Heart Institute. And the left-hand side, the smallest green color here is actually KPJ Sentosa, especially KL. And in terms of education, as highlighted in blue color polygon, as you can see here, it's actually consists of primary, secondary, as well as the tertiary education level providers around our proposed site. So what is worth of mention is that located nearby the KPJ, located nearby the Hospital Kuala Lumpur is actually a UKM KL campus. So the yellow color is actually referring to the shopping complex. So the left-hand side here is actually referring to the Samai Putra Mall, and the right-hand side at the bottom here is Q City Mall. Lastly, as you can see, the biggest polygon here outlining the Kampong Baru area is actually also under the redevelopment planning for the local authority by Dewan Bandar Kuala Lumpur. And the light blue color over here is actually referring to the PWTC, and now it's normally known as a World Trade Center Kuala Lumpur. Moving next, I will pass to Wahida.
Thank you, Nurul. Next, I will present about current land use. As you can see in the red box is our proposed site. The current land use for the area is residential. Next. For planning, our proposed site is gazetted under mixed-use development, and the plot ratio for the proposed site that we obtain from planning authority is 1:8, and minimum 60% of our proposed site must be residential. Next. This is buildings allowable in mixed-use zone that we obtain in the Federal Territory Planning Classes of Use of Land and Buildings, Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur Rules 2018. Next, I will pass to Nurul Ain'ni.
Thank you, Wahida. Now I will explain further the market condition for residential in Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur. Next. Okay, this graph shows the volume transaction in Kuala Lumpur from 2016 to 2020. The data was extracted from NAPIC. From the graph, it shows the trend of demand in Kuala Lumpur steady from year to year. Next. We see the existing incoming and planned supply of residential units in Kuala Lumpur, which bring to the total of 609,068 units. Next, in terms of property price, residential property in Kuala Lumpur have the mean price of 689,000 per unit, and the details prices for other type of residential properties as stated on the screen. Next. This is the price of residential property when we compare it between other states in Malaysia, which are Selangor, Johor and Pulau Pinang. It can be simplified from the graph is the residential prices in the mentioned state is growing slower. Next, continue. This is the market condition for office space in Kuala Lumpur. On the very left-hand side, it is the Kuala Lumpur bar with its total space about 9 million, occupied space about 7 million, was not very high, and with the occupancy rate of only 77.6%. Next. The total supply of the total supply of offices is about 10 million in Q4 of 2020. So with the incoming supply of 10 million office spaces, it can say that office spaces in Kuala Lumpur is oversupply. Next. Lastly, in terms of rental prices, rental price for office space in Kuala Lumpur growing slower from 2010 to 2020, where average rental per square meter is about RM53. That's all from me. I will pass to Wahida to continue.
Thank you, Nurul Ain'ni. Next, I will present about retail. As you know, the success of shopping complex slowed in 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic, and there are many retails are shut down and unintentionally affected the occupancy rate of many shopping centers. And as you can see in the chart, there are 7 state recorded occupancy rate by more than 80%, and one of them is in Kuala Lumpur. Even though the success of shopping complex is low, the demand for the retail in Kuala Lumpur is still higher even during the pandemic. Next. This is the table of supply of shopping complex in Kuala Lumpur as in Q4 2020. Even though the economy is not good, but there are a few numbers of property have been planned to be supplied in the future. It is due to support from the government initiative by giving tax deduction or rental deduction, special grants and so on. Next. For average monthly gross rental rate in Malaysia is RM6.73 73 cents per square feet. And for KL city area and KL Fringe, the rental rate is 42 ringgit and 29 ringgit. And for KL Fringe, 18 ringgit and 60 ringgit. Next, I will pass to Nick.
Thank you, Wahida. So I will be verbally explain to first our proposed development. So because our proposed site is very near to the MRT and LRT station as shown during the surrounding plan, so our proposed development will be a transit-oriented development, which we propose to build a link bridge linked up toward the LRT Putra and LRT PWTC. So on the other hand, because Wahida, my group member, also has explained that the current planning is actually under the mixed development with a 60% at least for the residential development. So we will propose to construct a residential property and commercial property. So the range we target is about the middle and low as possible because the current overhead issue is also a hot topic among the Malaysian. So based on our proposed development, we also have certain several financial aspects expected to be our cost during our development. So this included the land amalgamation and subdivisions for our development, strata title issuance after the development had been finished, the planning approval fee in order to obtain the planning consent from the local authority, the DPKL, and relevant authority, as well as the lastly is a professional fees from this professional land surveyor, engineer, architect, and valuer. So all these professional fee is obtained from their respective act and regulation. And lastly is the construction cost, which we extract from the ARCADIS. As you can see, the cost present here is actually divided or separated according to their type of property development, including the building construction cost and the building and the service to cost of service for the buildings. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. I think that was a detailed explanation. Very well. Well done, Group 5. Group 6. Okay, thank you, Group 6. I'm looking forward to the final report to see what is the proposed development also. Okay, so thank you. All right, so Group 8. Salah, Group 7. Group 7.
Okay, Doctor, you can see my screen?
Can.
Okay, I will start my presentation. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning to our to lecturer Dr. Zafira and our fellow friends. Before I start, I want to introduce my group member, Lai Sotlin, Melissa Majala, Siti Widan, and I, Narizwani. Today we are from Catstone Property. We're going to present the proposed development of our name of development is Forest Indah. Next. This is the proposed site. Our proposed site is in Selangor and in district Hulu Langat. Next. This our particular of title. Lot number is 0202. The title number is GRM 47554. Town is in Mukim Semenyih. District Hulu Langat, tenure in perpetuity. Category of land use is building. Annual rent is 2,628 ringgit Malaysia. Registered land area is 40,480 square meter, equivalent to 4.04 hectare. Restriction in interest is bangunan kediaman. Income basis is nil. Next. This is our title sheet. Next. Description of the proposed site is lot number 2020. Total land area is 9.9875 acre, which equivalent to 4.0418 acre. The proposed site is surrounded by palm plantation. Land use category is building. Shape is irregular platform, and terrain is flat physical terrain. This is our site plan of the lot 2020. This is our zoning plan. We got this from the MPK Kelang, and our zoning plan of the proposed site is building perumahan residential. Next, I will pass to the Melissa.
Thank you, Wani. Now I will continue on with this presentation. Since most of the physical aspect has been mentioned by Wani, I will just give a brief summary on the physical condition of our proposed site. So our site is basically a vacant land that is surrounded with oil palm plantation, and physically it is irregular in shape with flat terrain. Overall, the site is physically in a good condition. As for the basic utilities, the main supplier of clean pipe water is Air Selangor, while the electricity supply is mostly generated by TNB. For the telecommunication services, it is provided by Telekom Malaysia, while the sewerage and sanitation works is done by Indah Water. Next. So here is a picture that shows the front view and the side view of our proposed site. For the front view, it shows that our site is situated near to the road, which is Jalan Dusun. And as for the side view, we can see a large drain closely connected to our site. Next. Our site is located near Taman Sebenyi Indah, and it is under the jurisdiction of MPKJ. Besides that, the surrounding developments are mostly residential developments. Next. Located approximately 3 kilometers away from our proposed site is Pekan Sebenyi. Other than that, our site is accessible via highway and expressway such as Kajang Silk Highway and Terrace Kajang Expressway, as well as major roads such as Jalan Semenyi Kajang and Jalan Bangi Lama. The only public transportation located near to our site is the Semenyi Central, which is 1.5 kilometers away due south. Next. As for the surrounding plan, it shows the basic amenities located near to our site within a 2-kilometer radius. We have SMK Engku Hussain, Raja Muda Musa Mosque, Semenyi Central, Semenyi Health Clinic, and SJKC Sinming Semenyi. So now I will pass this presentation to Widat.
Thank you, Melissa. So I will proceed with market study. First and foremost, the market study for residential properties in Selangor. The transaction value and volume decrease. The 2 to 3 terrace house transaction dominates the residential property market. New launch softened and reduced in overhang and unsold situation. The total supply of residential units in Hulu Langat is 91,000, and the average price per unit of our proposed development is 500,000 ringgit for terrace and 300,000 for apartment. Next. For commercial property in Selangor, the transaction volume and value decreased. The single-story shop transaction dominates the market. The overhang unit reduced. The supply of shop unit in Hulu Langat is 814 units. Average price of shop house in Hulu Langat is 300,000 for single-story and 800,000 for double-story shop. Next. For the population age structure in Selangor, the population age 15 to 64 years old dominates the demographic in Selangor, which we think it's good as this population age is consists of young workers and adults. Next. The household income, Hulu Langat household income, median is 8,300 per month, higher than the median household income of Selangor, which made Hulu Langat as one of our strategic development site, as Hulu Langat people might afford to purchase property offered by our development. Next. For comparison method, there are 3 comparable that we have select. So for location, the distance between the subject property and Kajang City Centre is 10.2 km. The distance for comparable 1 and comparable 2 to Kajang City Centre is 12 km. While for comparable 3 is 15 km. Hence, there will have a plus 5% adjustment for comparable 1, comparable 2 and comparable 3 because they are located further away from Kajang City Centre. Then, there are no adjustment for tenure, zoning and category of land use because all the comparable are same with subject property. The land area of the subject property is 430,556 square feet. Based on the market analysis, in every 50,000 square feet of the land will cause an adjustment of 5% for the comparable property. The land area for comparable 1 was no adjustment because the difference of the land area are not more than 50,000 square feet, while comparable 2 was made an adjustment of negative 10% because of difference of the land area was more than 100,000 square feet, and comparable 3 was made an adjustment of 5% because of the difference of the land area are more than 50,000 square feet. This is because the land area for comparable 2 and comparable 3 are smaller than the subject property. So the price per square feet is higher than the subject property. For the transacted date, there are adjustments of 5% for 1 every 1 year. There are 5 plus 5% adjustment for comparable 1 because the transacted date is 1 year from now, while comparable 2 and comparable 3 will make adjustment plus 10% because of the transacted date of both comparable were 2 years from now. Next, the terrain of the subject property is flat, meaning that is suitable to carry out development on the subject property. The terrain for comparable 1 is flat, while the comparable 2 and comparable 3 are undulated. Hence, the adjustment plus 5% is made for comparable 2 and comparable 3. There is no adjustment made for comparable 1. Then, the subject property is located at first layer. The comparable 1 is same with subject property located at the first layer. There is no adjustment for comparable 1. While for comparable 2 and comparable 3 are at interior layer, there is an adjustment of 5 plus 5% for comparable 1 and comparable 3. Hence, the comparable 1 is the best comparable due to comparable 1 has the most similar characteristic with our subject property and the least adjustment had been made, which is plus 10%. So the value of the land could obtain through the following, which is the land value equal to land area of subject property multiplied by the market value of the land per square feet. So for the opinions of value, next. We value the land which is 4,050,000 ringgit Malaysia only. So I will hand over this presentation to Laisolin.
Thank you, Vidat. Now I will continue with planning guidelines. There are 3 guidelines or policies will be adopted in this proposed development, which are local plan, manual guideline, and planning standard state of Selangor and policies of Selangor. First, according to manual guideline and planning standard state of Selangor stated, the policy of the composition of the type of housing according to the size of development area, which our proposed site is in Lembang with the width 5 to 10 acres. So there is needed 30% for medium cost housing. After that, according to local plan, the density of the proposed site is 25 to 60 units per acre, which under Rumah Terancang Density Sederhana. There are few types of housing under Rumah Terancang Density Sederhana, which are single house, semi-detached house, cluster house, terrace house, and so on. Then, according to manual guideline, also stated that needs to prepare 10% for the open space. Next, according to manual guideline and planning standards for Selangor, stated the requirement that need to fulfill for residential and commercial. For residential, the minimum for the lot size of single story is 20 feet times 60 times 70 feet, and lot size of double story is 20 feet times 60 feet. And also minimum for service road is 50 feet. While for commercial, there is a minimum 1 unit shop for every 60 units houses. The minimum of the lot size is 20 feet times 60 feet, and the service road for double story shop is same with the house, which is 50 feet minimum. Next, according to policies of Rumah Selangor, our proposed site is located in Zone 1 and our proposed site is 9.98 acres. So the requirement for acre per percentage of Rumah Selangor in our proposed site is 20%, which including 10% for type A and 10% for type C. The maximum density for our proposed site is 120 units per acres. Then continue with proposed development. Our proposed name is Flora Indah, which we plan to build a small secret garden in the open space. Because our proposed site is near to many schools, including kindergarten, primary, secondary school. So our proposed development is a mixed development for single story terrace, double story terrace, apartment for Rumah Selangor and shop. Based on this layout, we plan to build 30 units for single story terrace, 45 units for double story terrace, 40 units for Rumah Selangor, which 20 units for type A and 20 units for type C, 23 units for double story shop, 1 unit for TMB, 1 unit for water catchment area, and 1 unit for sewage plant. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Group 7. So, hey, cute-nya. Is that your mouse?
No, my keyboard.
Oh, comel. Okay, you Group 7. I think you explained in detail as well. Very good. Well done. So, yes, looking forward to the final one, okay? Because ini belum nampak lagi you punya development sangat. But good explanation. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
All right, so Group 8, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you can present and then you can start, okay?
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to Dr. Gaf. My name is Ahmad Nazri, and with me today are Muhammad Izzat, Muhammad Afizuddin, and Nur Adiba. We like to present our subject property, which purpose to be mixed commercial in Cyberjaya. First, I'm going to present our particular of title. The title number is GRN 334161. The lot number is 111355. Mukim Dengkil, District Sepang, State Selangor. Tenure is in perpetuity. And land size is 6.126 hectare. The land use is building. The express condition is commercial building. Restriction in interest is tanah ini boleh dipindah milik, dipajak atau digadai setelah mendapat kebenaran pihak berkuasa negeri. The owner is Cyberview Senior Berhad. Income is nil. This is our site plan. So, as you can see on the slide, MMU is located west from our subject property. Sepang Municipal Council is north-west from subject property, while Likot Wing and Masjid Putra is north-east from subject property. Also, our land has excellent accessibility, which is our land is near to PLUS, LDP, Maju Expressway, Elite, SKBE, and only take 20 minutes from KL City Centre and KL International Airport. Next is zoning plan. As you can see, our land is under commercial. This is view of our subject land. Next, I pass to Hafizuddin.
Thanks, Ahmad Azri. Then we proceed to the planning guideline. Next. Our land is located under the area BPK 2.11. Land use is for commercial use. Permitted commercial plot ratio 1 to 5 with claimed area is 60%. Next. To build a semi-detached shop, the minimum lot measurement is around 27 meter times 39 meter. For the service road, the minimum is 20.1 meter. Next. For landscape area, it must be 5% from floor area, including the planting parameter. The minimum planting parameter is 3.1 meter around development area, including building setback. For parking space, one car park lot for every 46.4 square meter, plus 20% from the total car park lot for customers, and one motorcycle parking lot for every 84 square meter. And then there is also car park lot for people with disabilities, which is 12% with rent accommodation. Next. For terrace shop, the guideline for minimum lot measurement is around 6.1 meter times by 18.2 meter. For the size of service road that's stated in the guideline for 3 to 5 story terrace shop is 20.1 meter, while the back alley requirement for 3 to 5 story terrace shop is 9.1 meter. The standard also stated that we must provide an accommodation, which is provide facilities for disabled and special group and comply with the universal design guidelines. Fire hydrant and fire extinguisher also need to provide it at appropriate place subject to the fire and rescue department. Next, we move to land development process. The development process comprises of 3 stages, which are pre-construction stage, construction stage, and post-construction stage. In pre-construction stage, developer needs a specific site to initiate a property development. So the land development begins with the identification of land with the development potential. Next, the application of land acquisition will be carried out. The other things that developer need to do is like simultaneous submission of application for purpose development, application for developer license and sales, and advertising permit from National Housing Department. The last one is notification to start development and the site clearance. Once the development approval is obtained, the construction stage can start. For this stage, it involves professional like architect, civil engineer, mechanical and electrical engineer, quantity surveyor, contractor. These professionals are hired to ensure the construction stage is carried out properly. They will ensure that the construction is carried out and building structure follows the approved building plan. The last part is post-construction stage. It involves final inspection. Developer is required to submit request for clearance of site and commissioning report to OSC once the construction stage is complete. Then issuance of certificate of completion and compliance by paying deposit of certificate of completion and compliance and submit Form G first. And the last one is hands over vacant position. That's all for me. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter.
All right, and thank you, Fizuddin. Next, I present the market scenario in Selangor. So next, based on the market report produced by GPPH, commercial sector contribute 9% of the total transaction volume by subsector. Next, and 14% of total value of subsector. Next. So as for the volume of commercial property transaction, next, and value of commercial property transaction, both show the almost similar trend, which is upward trend until 2019, around 2019 and 2020, which high possibly due to COVID-19 pandemic. So it is safe to assume that it will be upward trend in the near future after the COVID-19 over. Next. So as for the short market status in Selangor from 2016 until 2020, unfortunately, overhangs still increasing year by year. However, unsold, under construction and not construction are decreasing. Next. So according to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, Sepang recorded as the second largest median monthly gross household income of 8,937, which reduced the possible affordable problem for our proposed development. Next. So based on the condition of our proposed site and the market scenario, we can conclude that mixed commercial development are the right development to be built in our proposed site with a great future in the great performance in the future. So our proposed development will consist 24 unit 2-story semi-detached shop and 29 unit 3-story shop lot with 2 garden and 1 TNB station. Both of our unit will consist of office used in the upper floor and retail used in ground floor. So this is our proposed layout, which consists 2-story semi-detached shop in upper side and right side of the land, and 3-story shop lot in the middle, occupied by green surrounding and garden. Next, I will pass to Adibah for the further explanation. Thank you.
Thank you, Izzat. So I will explain on the valuation aspect. Next. So for the sales evidence of the land, see in the red box is our subject property, and then there's comparable one which is located on the west of our subject property, and comparable 2 on the east of our subject property, and finally comparable 3 is adjacent to our subject property. And all of this land is in Cyberjaya, and as you can see, all the green colors here, there's still a lot of vacant land in Cyberjaya, so it's quite easy to find the comparables. And for the value, 2 of the comparables here, comparable 2 and 3, both the market value for both of the comparable is 60.7 million ringgit, while the comparable one's market value is at 83.75 million ringgit. Okay, next. Okay, this is the comparable for semi-detached shop. The first one is Mark Base Park, located in Klang. The price is from 3.3 million. Next. Wait, okay. Then the second comparable is 3 Avenue, which is located in Bandar Bukit Raja. And the price is from 3.5 million. And next, finally, it's in Cyberjaya itself. It's called Cyberjaya Cottage Walk. This is where the infamous Taco Bell is located. And the selling price is from 4.6 million. However, the semi-detached shop comparables can change in the final report, because we can only, as of now, we can only find the one in Klang, and later on it can change. This is not the final one. And actually, there's another project of semi-detached project in Cyberjaya, but we can't use that one because it's light industrial. Okay, then next. Okay, this is the comparable for Terrace shop. The first one is CBD Perdana 2, located in Cyberjaya. The tenure is freehold. It has 4 and 5 floors, and starting price for 1 unit is only 720,000 ringgit. Okay, next. Okay, the second one is Glomac Cyberjaya, located in Cyberjaya. The tenure is freehold, and the starting price is from 368,000. It has 3 and 3.5 floors. Next. Okay, the last one is Radius Business Park. It's in Jalan Teknokrat 2/1, Cyberjaya. Tenure is also freehold. There's 3 and 4 floors, and the price is from 788,000 ringgit per unit. So I think that's all from our group. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Seperti is in Cyberjaya, is it? Kan?
Sorry, Doctor?
The land is in Putrajaya, Cyberjaya, is it?
Yes, the land
Sepang.
is in Cyberjaya, Sepang. Yeah.
Cyberjaya. All right. Okay, thank you, Group 8. Sorry, Adima, teruskan.
No, it's adjacent to the MMU.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Group 8. Well done. Last group. Group 9, are you guys ready? Okay, Group 9?
Yes.
All right. Essence.
Okay. Good afternoon to Dr. Zaf. We are from SDY Property Consultancy, Interim Bahab. Before we start, I would like to introduce my group members. Our group members consist of Chong Hui Min, Julie Liu Pei Pei, Liu Kaiyun, and me, Li Wenyue. Next slide. We have been appointed by owner of the land, Forming Enterprise Interim Berhad, to contribute to our feasible development. Next. This is the particulars of title. The proposed land is held under control number Quran 272830, and it is located in the Guraisan Bilan, Seremban District, Bandar Seremban. Is recognized as Lot 12907 in Section 385, having an area of 6.125 hectares, which is equivalent to 15.1352 acres. The category of land use is under agriculture. Tenure is term in perpetuity, where the owner has to pay 230 ringgit Malaysia for annual rent. Last but not least, the registered owner of this land is Forming Enterprise Enduring Berhad. Next. This is the site plan of our proposed site. Our proposed site is irregular in shape. After our site inspection, we found that it's flat in terrain and currently no building on the site. Next. Our proposed site is currently a vacant land. And next slide. The cover of our proposed site. Next. Our proposed site is zoned under residential, and there is no against of the zoning rule since we plan to do the residential development here. Next. This slide shows you the location map. Northeast Bandaran Seremban is located 3.8 kilometers to the northeast of our proposed site. Next. This is the surrounding plan. Start from the east of our proposed site. The surrounding of our proposed site got SJKC Calvin, SMK Bukit Mewah, Restaurant Nasi Kurakuti Buah, Cake Fine Roti Imbi, Pura Dua Sales Senjuran Berhad, Purata Dialysis Center, and also Bio Clinical Campus Seremban. Next. There is a bus station nearby our proposed site, which is Taman Surelu bus station with a distance of 350 meters. And also it is accessible to various highways. That's all from me. Now I would like to invite Hui Min to continue.
Thank you, Luna. Now I would like to present the market value of the subject property. According to the information obtained by JPPH Seremban, there are 3 comparable chosen, which is vicinity from our subject property. Next. We are using comparison method as the method of valuation for our subject property. This table shows the property details of the comparable and also for our subject property. For comparable 1, the analysis per square feet is 13 ringgit 49 cents. Comparable 2 is 16 ringgit 30 cents per square feet, while comparable 3 is 15 ringgit 15 cents per square feet. Next. This is the adjustment for the comparison method. For time factor, 10% adjustment is made for comparable 1, which is transacted in 2019, while 5% is made for comparable 2 and 3, which is transacted in 2020. For the location factor, negative 5% adjustment is made for comparable 2 and 3 because they are more accessible than our subject property. There is no adjustment needed for types of property, tenure, category of land use, zoning, and terrace since the subject property and the 3 comparable are same. For the size factor, there are a 5% adjustment made for every 100,000 square feet of total land area difference. Negative 5% adjustment is made for comparable 1 since the land is bigger. However, 10% is made for comparable 3 since it is smaller than our subject property. Hence, we conclude that for comparable 1, the total adjustment made is 5%. For comparable 2 is 0%, while comparable 3 is 10%. Based on the comparison method made, comparable 2 is the best comparable since comparable 2 has the least number of adjustments. Therefore, the adjusted price per square feet is 16 ringgit 30 cents. Next. The market value of the land is calculated by using analysis per square feet multiplied by the land area of the subject property. Hence, the market value of the land is says 10,746,000 ringgit Malaysia. Next, I would like to pass to Kayun to present about the proposed development.
Thank you, Hui Min. So now I would like to present about the proposed development. So as you can see in our development logo,
the name of our proposed development is Eco Essence Residence. We really hope that this development could let the residents to stay in an eco-friendly home. Next slide. So this is our drafted layout plan so far, according to the shape of our proposed site. So we may have the amendment later after the accurate measurement is done. So the west of our proposed site is allocated for 4 rows of semi-detached houses and 4 rows of terrace houses, while the low-cost apartment and some commercial shop office are planned to be at the east of the site. And next, so according to the Dasar Perumahan Negeri Sembilan (DPNS), low-cost house should be minimum 50% of the total residential units, where consists of type A 20%, type B 15%, and type C 15%. Hence, we plan to do a low-rise apartment consists of 4 floors for each low-cost house types, so total around 128 units. So next, moreover, we also propose a cup house and an area of open space to be built in the middle area between the terrace MED and the low-cost house. Hence, the residents can be easily accessible to them. We also plan to have the amenities such as a TMB power station, sewerage treatment plants in our proposed development. So next, the local plan for this planning block, which is the PBK 2.7, stated that the maximum density shall be 40 units per acre, and we currently achieve 37 units per acre under medium density category in our proposed site. So in short, I would like to say that we have tried to apply the highest and best use principle for our proposed development. So next, we have slogan for our proposed development, which is the good life, the green life. And next, our proposed development focus on some concepts, which is the first one, harmonious community, the second one, gated guarded neighborhood, and the third one, scenic gardens for community living. I will further discuss with you during the final presentation. So that's all from me. I would like to invite Shirley to continue the market trend.
Okay, thank you, Kayum. Now I will proceed with the residential property transaction in Negeri Sembilan. Since 2018 to 2020, the volume and value of residential property transaction will decline gradually. In 2020, the residential subsector recorded as 9,855 transactions worth 2.58 billion, which indicate a decline of 8.6% in volume and 4.7% in value respectively. For the commercial property transaction, the volume and value of residential property transactions declined gradually. In 2020, the commercial subsector recorded 832 transactions worth 465.81 million, which indicate a decline of 9.3% and 16.4% in volume and value respectively. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, the population in Selangor has increased from 2015 to 2016. However, the population declined substantially in 2017. The population rise continuously from 2018 to 2020. So that we predict the population will continually increase in future. That's all for our group. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's the last group, group 9. Well done. I have a few comments actually. Very nice your apa tu? You punya slides, very structured. Thank you. Thank you, group 9.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Thank you. So, I'm so sorry I took like 4 minutes of your time. It's already 1:04. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with all your slides. Very good. Good color of choice, very good structure, very good outline, easy to read. And your effort are reflected in your slides as well. So I can see that you have been trying to get as much information as you can and how you have synthesized all the information that you have. And some of you already have a concept for your development, like the tutelage person. Okay, so interesting. And then Vita Moderna, was it? So interesting things and inspirations that you get from, I guess, from overseas. Yeah, I guess. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Don't forget to submit your interim presentation on Spectrum. So only one group, one person will submit. Okay. So that will be part of your interim report. So tomorrow we will not have any class for tutorial, and I'll see you guys again in week 8 next week. Okay, so take care everyone. Goodbye. Well done everyone. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doctor.